Today is going to be about opportunities. So no matter what happens today, it's going to happen for another opportunity. Because nothing happens to us, it happens for us.
Yep.
So if I have an opportunity myself, so I'm saying, I'm going to wake up and say, okay, today's for opportunity. So everything that happens for me is for another opportunity. So even if I had a job and I lost my job today, well, this is an opportunity for me to focus on that business I always want to start.
We're good, man. How you doing today, my man?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm good, man. But before we start, this is the Certified Go-Getter podcast, man. You know, envisioning how yourself and become it is the motto. Right here, we preach getting to the next level and just living life strategically instead of living life on pilot mode. So today, I'm here with RBM Rich Bag Members, Rich Reallionaire, man. Let them know, man. Let them know what's up, man. Let them know about the RBM, man.
Man, RBM, man, Rich Bag Members, man, collection of 3 companies, you know, my company, Rich Reallionaire, Bag, you know, my guy, D Black, Bag, Billionaire, and Mitch's Grind, and then members only, my guy, Sosa, you know, his financial literacy and merch, you know, a big ass conglomerate, man, a big collection of bosses, you know, of guys pooling our natural resources together, our collective resources, our collective skills, and make sure how we can come together and raise the tide, so every boat in the water can rise.
Exactly.
So,
and that's smart. But what made you? What do you think sparked that conversation, right, between all 3 of you guys? Because it takes to have 3 bosses in a room and not have anybody bump their heads and let the ego talk.
Yeah.
What sparked that conversation between you guys?
So okay. Well, just for clarity, you know, it's 4 of us. Because there's 3 companies.
Yeah.
But so on the Rich Reallionaire, it started originally with us being artist management.
Okay.
You know, and so this was me and Go. That was we formed that company, came together, and said, okay, you know, because my guy Go is an artist. You know, phenomenal artist at that. You know, and so at the end of the day, we wanted to get behind him and see what can we do. When you take music serious, I was like, okay, I'm gonna take the business serious.
Right.
And so we formed a management company, and that's how Rich Reallionaire responded. And so then the Black had a record company. You know what I'm saying? Bag Records.
Yeah.
So his artists, we like, okay, well, we gonna manage everybody. Like me and Go, we had about 9 artists. You know what I'm saying? So we was like, okay, how we gonna be the manager, but it's gonna be everybody on Bag Records.
Yeah.
And so then Sosa came in to also support, you know, members only. You know, he just came in and said, okay. So we all formed it. So then we was like, okay, we're gonna come together. We're gonna pool our collective resources, our skill sets together under one roof to catapult this music and this entertainment. And so that's how it started. It's crazy. That's how it started. And so we was like, okay, what do we do? So we had all these artists. We was, you know, going to the studio, and then we was like, how can we bring attention to our brand?
Right.
And my guy Go came up with the idea saying, man, let's throw a function, get everybody under a roof to get acquainted with the brand. You know, a guy, this is great branding. I was like, that's a great idea. So we all agreed it's a great idea. We didn't even have a name at the time.
Yeah.
It was just
that was before y'all even became Rich Bag Members?
It's because this is the origin of how Rich Bag Members came to happen.
Yeah.
You know? And so we threw the event. It was during COVID. So, you know, those restrictions, but the party was epic, legendary. Pulled off. We sold out we sold out all bottles, everything. It was just a great turnout. And so, but coming up, my man Sosa came up with, on the Eventbrite, he came up with the Rich Bag Members. Like he came up with the name. So
came up with the name.
Man, so we like, oh, it stuck. Like we all heard it, like Rich Bag Members. It stuck. So we got to credit my guy Sosa for coming up with the name.
Yeah.
You know, and so then with that, that was a forward momentum. We was like, okay, we're onto something. And so then we understand that we use the events as branding, as well as, you know, our artists. You know, we just get behind the music. Well, unfortunately, we had a couple of artists passed. You know, and it really hit us hard, but it really got us to look inside ourselves and see how can we come together. We're already together, but how can we therefore take it more serious, dive in, and provide an opportunity so when more people come for our help, to our resources, that we can actually be a resource for those people, for those artists.
Right.
So this is what got us learning business serious. So we all took roles, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I'm gonna be the CEO, you know what I'm saying? The coordinator, you know, my guy Sosa is gonna be the chief financial officer, you know, Go was gonna be the creative director, and then D Black said he's gonna be the marketer.
Okay.
And so we all say, okay, because we just know naturally, these is where our skill sets naturally lend their strengths to. And so we said, we're gonna come together. And so we just come together to showing that, 4 successful black men and coming from one walk of life can transition their life together and work together. And show that, there's a myth that we can't work together. And and there's no such as an ego in here. Like, ego don't serve us anything. It doesn't, that's not way to be collaborative. Because ego is kind of yourself, unproven to yourself. Because confidence is, I actually know what I can bring because I put through.
Right.
Ego is kind of like, what I think I can do without actually being actualized.
Say the first sentence again when you said ego is kind of like proving something to yourself. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I mean, it's like wanting to prove to yourself, but really your ego is you're unproven to yourself.
Yeah.
So your ego is trying to boast and take over, saying, "Oh, I'm this," but you're not really proving to yourself, because if you was proven to yourself, you wouldn't need to boast or anything.
Yeah.
You'll be confident, and I can show up. I know my skill sets. Like, I know where my strengths is. I'm confident because I've shown up and been consistently.
Yeah.
And my life has shown me where I'm skilled at. So I don't have to lend my ego it, because ego is like misplaced confidence.
My next question is, have you always been a confident person?
Definitely.
You've always been a confident person?
I can say most definitely I'm naturally.
Yeah.
I've been in certain areas. I naturally was confident, but I like to say that I grew more into my confidence for understanding myself, and just the maturation of just human life. So being young, I wasn't so much confident in my social skills.
Yeah.
But then as I grown and got older, and I realized that I had the gift to articulate myself, I poured into that gift, and worked on that gift to where it became a strength. I poured into that strength. So therefore it gave me confidence. I built the confidence,
right?
From actually actualizing, seeing that I was a great communicator, and and the results that brought. So therefore it spawned my confidence, because I was proving to myself. So I was confident because I know how I present myself is how I show up. So I'm confident that when I say I can do something, that I'm confident because I've actually done it multiple times consistently.
Yeah. And how would you, for somebody out there who isn't a confident person, because there's a lot of people who want to do something but doubt themselves, and then they also got other people listening to naysayers, and they just don't have that confidence in themselves. For somebody who needs to create that confidence and is looking to create that confidence, what kind of advice would you give them as a confident person?
Okay, I could say, first of all, the major key to confidence is tuning out the noise, and never mind anybody's opinion. Understand that when you know yourself and you pour into yourself, then you can only be the one who validates yourself. So I can't tell you how you're looking at it is right or wrong, because I haven't, walked a day in your shoes. I haven't experienced life through your perspective. So I have no power or no intelligent thought to even pass judgment on you, because I'm not Javon. I'm not Devon. I haven't been 1 minute being Devon. So how would I know what you felt at the time? That's your journey. And at the end of that, I gotta understand my journey. And so that's what confidence brings, is understanding that you gotta focus fully on yourself. You know what I'm saying? And then give yourself grace. Because with everything in life that we win at and that we're proficient at, we failed at. So don't be scared of failure, because that's what the society tries to tell us, to disencourage us from trying.
Yeah.
Because just think about walking. How many times did you fall on your butt, maybe on your head or anything, before you learned how to walk?
Plenty of times.
You started, but then you didn't stop.
Right.
You failed so many times that you fell forward and you became proficient. Now when you walk, you don't even think left, right. I walk here. You just walk freely. Same thing with talking. So being consistent and keep trying is the true way to build confidence. So now you're confident when you walk, right?
Yeah.
You did the first few times when you're baby, you fail, you didn't stop. You confident. I'm gonna try again. Then you try so much to where you actualize. You prove to yourself, I can walk. Now you can walk. Now you're confident in walking.
Right.
And same thing with anything in confidence. Like, give yourself grace. That you learn when you go into a situation not knowing something. Give yourself grace to say, okay, I don't know, and be okay with that. And when you're okay with that, you don't get offended or offset or overwhelmed by experience information that you don't know, because I know that I don't know. But give yourself grace. And that's how, by you giving yourself grace and being consistent, confidence is going to come, because you get to show yourself that you're proven.
Yeah.
You get to show yourself that you can do it.
Name a time where you were not confident in one area, but then you took the work and the initiative to make yourself confident in that area.
Oh my goodness, it's a lot of things. What can
What about the most recent one that you can remember?
Well, I can say the most. Okay, I'll say business.
Yeah.
You know, so I could say when entering business, I was confident. I knew how to negotiate. I knew how to hustle.
Yeah.
I knew how to conduct business on that plane of thing, but I wasn't confident that that was going to translate over into actual business. You know, so it took for me to work on that. It took on me to dive in, you know what, become a student and say, it's okay. I gave myself grace. It's okay not to be an astute businessman. It's okay. But since that, I'm gonna go intelligently and intentionally go seek the information to pour into myself, to figure out, to build myself on how to become stronger in business.
Right.
So I'm gonna read books, I'm gonna listen to podcasts, I'm gonna surround myself with people who are further along in this space and learn and take notes and ask questions. And tell myself there is no dumb question, because I don't know anything in this field, and I want to be better. I want to be great. So I'm gonna not just humble myself, but I'm gonna give myself grace to say I can get it wrong, but not get down on myself, learning my lessons from those wrongs, adjusting and correcting and applying. So I was really nervous. I wasn't confident, you know, but the more I just dived more into it, it worked. Yeah,
man. That's what's up. And what, as far as what things did you realize did translate from, you know, what you learned from being a hustler and growing up the way you did to business?
Adversity, being able. So that's what translates. You know, so it's like I was able to not transform tragedy into triumph. You know, that's what one thing I could say my old past life showed me. You know, I showed how to create systems and how to persevere past obstacles. You know, and obstacles turn into opportunity. You know, so like, okay, we come from impoverished environments, and so, you know, okay, I want to start getting this money so I can feed my family, so I can take care of my family. You feel me? So okay, so although I'm gonna start and I might not get the hang of it, but I'm not discouraged. You know, I'm not gonna hang my head. I'm gonna sit down, because I'm gonna understand that adversity is gonna come, and how do I turn this obstacle into opportunity? So okay, I need to learn how to save more money. So this is the opportunity. So okay, I blew the money. So now this is the opportunity for me to go in, see what I can fix, see what I can learn, apply it, adjust, and then go home. So now I can say, okay, instead of going every weekend, I'm gonna sit back. You know, and being just showing that uncanny ability to pivot and always make the adjustments showed me that would translate over into business. You know, of how to be, you know, okay, when I meet this deadline and everything, you know, with somebody on the team, not so much my team, but just say things go hard and things are falling apart and the deadline is tomorrow. Well, then I know to make the pivot. So, okay, I'm going to take on this guy's responsibilities, not his responsibility, but I'm going to do the work for him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm going to take on that because I've already got mine solved. So let me help and let me lend myself to be of value, not expecting everybody to show up as myself.
Yeah. And I heard you mention, like when you mentioned saving, right, and learning your lessons from saving, and then like you said, you know, you might have to skip out on going out some weekends, you know, skip out on the partying. And my question to that is, do you think that being an ambitious person, a motivated person, just somebody who is eager to reach their goals, do you believe that that's a skill?
Oh, okay. So do I believe it's a skill? Huh?
Do you believe it's a skill to be a person that's ambitious and ready to go after their own goals and learn from their life experiences to help them grow?
Yeah, it's a skill that you can acquire at any time. You feel me? Yeah. So you have to have. First of all, yes, it's a skill, but everybody's born with this skill. Just to the degree on how strong you're going to be in it depends on you.
Right.
Depends on how much you're going to intentionally show. I want to get stronger in it. Just like lifting weights. Now I'm gonna start off today. I might only get to 40-pound weights, but consistently, if I come up every day, every day, now after a few months, I go up to 45.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I stay consistent and I stay doing it. You know what I mean? And so, but I'm working on it. Yeah, I'm working on building that skill. So I believe that you can build the skill to be ambitious and successful, because to be ambitious is just to have the drive, the tenacity to always want to achieve the goal. But sometimes on the road to the goal, the most challenging part is constructing the road to actually achieve the goal. You feel me? The easy part is setting the goal. That's the easy part of this.
Yeah.
Everybody says, oh, okay, I want to gain 10 pounds. Okay. What's the road look like in order to get to 10 pounds? You know, the game.
Yeah.
You know, so are you going to eat? So eat 3 times a day. How many meals are you going to eat? Have to boost up to, you know? And then all that, that's the challenging part. It comes discipline, it comes through, and you can work on that. Everybody, you can at all times, at every time, at point in life, you can stop and say, you know what, I want to add to my tool bag.
Yeah.
You know, because just having a tool bag don't make you a carpenter. Understanding the uses of your tools make you a carpenter. So how to use a hammer effectively, how to use a screwdriver effectively makes you a carpenter. But taking the time to learn the tools in your tool bag. Yeah. Same thing with life. So everybody's born with the skills. It's on you to say, okay, this is my skill set, and I want to get stronger here. Be intentional and say, okay, I'm gonna take it. At first, I want to work about getting up earlier, start my day earlier. So then you'll say, okay, well, if I want to wake up at 5 a.m., I know that I got to get to bed at least by 9 o'clock. Yeah. And be consistent and intentional and dedicated to sticking to that script.
Have you always been an ambitious person?
Yes, for the most part.
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah. For the most part.
Okay, for the most part, you've always been an ambitious person. Have you always been somebody who's constructed the route to their goals?
Yes, I have, because we all construct. We all do, either intentionally or not intentionally. So you're going to do the work. Yeah. Either you're going to do the work, or you're not going to do the work, and the work's going to get done for you. Right. By you not doing the work. I know it's kind of. I know that kind of. It's kind of crazy.
No,
but
it makes sense. Though.
Yeah, but because you're either going to learn by somebody intentionally teaching you how to save money, or you're going to learn by not wanting to be intentional about learning how to save money, but by blowing too much money, it's going to teach you. Hold up, this ain't working for me. Now I got to come up with something to figure out how not to blow the money. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because you're going to learn the lesson either way. You just got to pick your route. You know, it's hard being Jeff Bezos. Yeah, and it's hard being a guy who sleeps under the bridge. Right. It is. Pick your heart. Pick your heart. Pick your heart. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or you know what I'm saying? It's hard to try to find some place to stay. And you know, but it's also hard to stay disciplined, coming up with a plan, executing your plan, and staying consistent and diligent and disciplined in that. That's also hard. Yep. Yeah, you got to pick your poison, like you said. Yeah. In this generation nowadays, what is the biggest thing you see as far as? Matter of fact, we're gonna scratch that. In this generation nowadays, what kind of advice do you want to give? One piece of advice, something that you notice, and you just want this generation to hear it, right? That's coming up, and even if it's just the way the world operates now. Okay. What is it you think that people need to hear? I think to truly organically know who your organic self is. Yeah. You know, be organic in the construction of who you want to become, and not gravitate towards the ready-made set templates that society pushes forward. You know, especially for young men. Right. You know, so what if I'm not an athlete? So but I don't have to be. If I'm not an athlete, then I don't have to be a street guy. And maybe I'm not a street guy. Maybe I want to get a magician. Yep. Whatever it is, get to know yourself and be okay with being original, organic in that, and don't be susceptible to group thinking and deceptive beliefs. Be organic and understand how to be yourself and be uncompromisable about being yourself.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna show up as Jarrell, no matter what, in every situation. You know, now of course there's a dream, but I'm gonna make every decision based on what I believe is best. Do off the research, not what I think somebody wants the best for me.
Yeah.
And I think in this generation, it gets there. It's like kind of tuning out all the multiple distractions and being intentional about controlling your own thoughts and your own definitions and your own path.
So if you could go back and say you were 20 years old in this generation.
Oh my God.
If you were 20 years old in this generation, how do you think you would go about things to separate yourself from everybody else who's keeping up with the Joneses and trying to fit in with the crowd to being you and developing yourself to who you are now?
Okay, this is a multi-pronged question. The first thing I would do, if I was 20 in this generation, and if I didn't have a business or a skill set that I was trying to market, that I would not tune in to social media. I would therefore pick where I want to excel at and dive and focus, lock in on becoming that, not portraying something, not trying to look like something, not trying to pass off as something, but actually becoming that. You know, I would really lock in and say, you know what? If I was 20 years old in this generation, when I pick up investing, I was tune out everything that wasn't aligned with learning how to become a strong, smart investor. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, my friends want to go out on Friday. I would say, is this gonna help me become an investor?
Right.
A strong investor? Is this what investors would do? And if the answer is no to any of that, then I'm gonna punt on that. And I'm gonna lock in to where everything that I put myself in is gonna enrich myself and my environment in order to propel me to my end destination.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I would do. If I was 20, I would hyper focus on what I want to become and then put on the route to actually becoming it and not being distracted by entertainment. I would replace entertainment with education.
Yep. And if you didn't know what you would want to become, how would you go about figuring it out?
Sitting with myself and understanding what resonates, what am I naturally good at, what do I like to lend myself up, what do I enjoy, you know, and I get to learn myself. And when you learn yourself, you'll be surprised about the things you find out. You know, when you sit, the times in my life where I really sat and was like, okay, I know, like, when I was younger, I was like, okay, I know what these guys in the streets would think is cool, but what do I think is cool? What do I like?
Right.
What do I like? Not what I was told to like, not what I was programmed, or not what my environment likes. What do I like? And so, you know, it was just like, once you get to know who you are, a lot of these questions will start answering themselves, you know, because it'll be self-revealing. And that's one thing about life. Life is always self-revealing. The older you get, the more that life reveals to who you are. And if you pay attention to all communication, not just the 10% that's verbal, 90% of communication is nonverbal.
Okay.
So if you take a picture of 100%, so I'm listening to people, but I'm also reading the nonverbal communication.
Yeah.
I'm reading what the signs are of the environment in which I'm surrounding myself in. And so by paying attention and being a student of that, therefore you can see, you know what, I'm gonna lend myself to these situations because these situations bring out the best in me and pour into me. And I can extract value from this, and I can give value to the situation versus these other situations that are just really a whole bunch of people who's trying to figure themselves out.
Right.
So it's draining because everybody's trying to figure out who they are trying to show up as who they think they should be.
To finish it off, about the 20s question, what would you say you learned the most pivotal lesson during your year in your 20s?
The most,
or during the year of your 20s.
Okay, the most
years of your 20s.
The most pivotal lesson I learned was trust the process. You know, with trust the process. I think in my 20s I learned that it's okay to be me, and I'm okay with showing up as myself. Understand, I still it's not too late and it's not too early.
Yeah.
That, you know, right now is the most important time. It's right now. Just like, you know, just think of in the 20s, just think of being in the car. The windshield's the biggest, right? Because it deserves the most of your attention. But if you focus on 10 cars up on your windshield, what are you gonna do?
You're gonna crash
Off top. And if you keep peeking in this rear view, you're gonna crash. The whole trick is to be focused about each moment and unlocking that moment, which gets you to the next moment.
Right.
So, you know, and so that's what I would say. Like, you know, in my 20s, it taught me to be aware, taught me to be present, but also, you know, also told me that it was okay that that everything that I wanted was on the cusp of happening, and there's still much more after that. Because as I grew, so did my wants grow.
Yep.
So did my aspirations grow. So does my values grew as much as I grew. So yeah, my 20s was it was a time where, okay, I can choose this time to actually become this. So when I get to my 30s, when I get to my 40s, I actually become and be more and walking into who I am and what I'm destined to do. Because I spent my 20s on constructing the foundation to build the skyscraper of my life.
Yep. And what is something that you're living now that you used to pray for, wish for, work towards while you were in your 20s?
Oh my God. That's a great question. I would say being able to be a resource for my family. You know, able to be a resource for my family in any way. You know, spiritually, mentally, financially, physically. You know, able to whatever my family need me to be. I'm able now to be that.
Yep.
And you know, that's one thing that I was always important to me in my 20s, and that was what I was. You know, I was busting, trying to become that in a position to where I can be of value to my family. You know, and right now that's my actualized dream. You know, it's like, you know, I got multiple family members. You know what I'm saying? Where from my kids to my mom to my brothers, you know, that call and just I'm able to lend my vast experience of just my experience of life and my perspective, what I've learned, and I'm able to pour back into them and just give them a different way to look at what they're currently going through. Or it's just, you know, I'm in a position now to where I can be fiscally, I can say, okay, you know, like if something happens to my mother, I can say, you know what, I'm in a position now to therefore carry the burden somewhat to get you over the hump. And, you know, that's one of my actualized prayers in life when I'm in my 20s.
How does it feel?
Feels phenomenal. Feels great, man. I can't do no complaining, man. I can't do no complaining.
Some words for somebody who's in their 20s right now who might be watching this video looking to achieve what it is that they're praying for and wishing for right now.
It's already yours. It's already yours. What you're wishing and what you're praying for, if you take one step towards it each day, every day, just take one step. Just start there. Take one step towards what you want to become every day. And you multiply that, after 1,000 days, you took 1,000 steps towards to becoming what you want to. So to actualize it, you're taking one step towards it. You know, so that's why I would say that everything that's in your mind is possible.
Yeah.
You know, everything's possible. It only becomes impossible if you tell yourself that you're not going to do the work. That's the only way it becomes possible, if you don't do the work for it to happen.
Right.
But if you do the work each and every day, what you want is going to be reality. You're going to that's part of manifesting it, not just talking about it, not just talking about, but actually putting in the work. So if I say I want to, you know, in my 20s, I want to be well off in 30s. Well, I'm going to do the things right now to get me to that thing.
Right.
So, okay, all right. So now I'm going to skip partying. I'm going to skip the club. I'm going to skip, you know, hanging out with the fellas and turn ups and all that. And I'm going to start looking at what do I need to define, what do I need to be set off in my 30s.
Yep.
And then reverse engineer that. So, okay, I want to be a millionaire. Okay, well then, what do millionaires do? Each and every day I'm going to do something that millionaires do.
Yeah.
So then I can become that. So when I become that, then once you become that, your goals are gonna, like I was talking about before, are gonna grow there. That's what I would say to somebody in their 20s, man. It's already yours. You have to put in the work. How bad do you want it? And if you want it bad enough, then you're gonna do the work each and every day, no matter what.
Yep. And, you know, I cater to somebody in their 20s, but that's advice for anybody. You know, whether you're 30, 40,
sure.
even if you're 75.
That's timeless. It's timeless advice, you know? But, you know, with the younger you are, the more you can lock in to becoming.
That's true, yep.
Yeah, the more you can, the more, like, if you lock in right now, so let's just say you're fresh 20 right now, and you have $0 right now, $0 and zero skills. You can work up tomorrow, and then you can work on a skill that will go and work on that skill. Pick a skill, you can pour into that each and every day, and then in your 30s, you'll get to a person who that skill will be set, and now you'll be that much stronger of a person. You'll be financially sound and all that. If you pick today, right now is the most important time, because that's the only thing you control. Your future is gonna look like right now. So if you're a person that's handling your business in your 20s, then when you get in your 30s, you're gonna look like a 30-year-old who handled their business in their 20s.
Yeah, and that was an epiphany I had the other week. I'm sitting there and I was like, technically, you can only do nothing but focus on the present. Because to get to where you want to get in the future, you got to focus on what you're doing right now.
For sure.
And then, you know, as far as somebody in their 20s, like you were saying, like, time is on your side. Because if you start now, how I put it is, if you did the same thing if you put work towards something for 5-10 years, math doesn't work like that. There's no way you're not going to see results, you know? And especially if you're doing the right thing. But even if you're doing the wrong thing, you're going to bump your head so many times and you got so much time that you're going to figure out what the right thing is. So if you start early, you're going to get to the result early.
Definitely. And, you know, and right or wrong is perspective.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? Because what can be right to me could be wrong to somebody else. And what can be wrong to them could be right to me. So that's one thing, like circling back to what I talked on earlier, is blocking out all the distractions, you know, and becoming the ruler of your definitions. So no, success on what you look like is you're right.
Yeah.
Only if that's what you want, not caring about other people's opinion, perspectives, or none of that. First on what you deem good for yourself.
Yeah.
Because you're right. But you know, if you lend that power to somebody else, they're like, oh man, you wrong. Oh, she's like, okay. But you only can give people power that you give the power to.
Yeah.
And if you keep all the power and you be the ruler, and you know that most definitely you're gonna get there.
So my question, I want to talk about dopamine, man. I want to ask you a question about some dopamine. So lately, I've been reading a book. I've been reading Dopamine. I forgot about the author, but it's been a great book. And in the book, she talks about she's a therapist, and there's multiple different stories about, you know, her clients coming to her and telling them about masturbation, weed, all type of things. You know, and I hear these stories, and I realize how pivotal dopamine is, and how much of a role it plays in our life. So my question for you is, in this world of just straight indulgence and cheap dopamine, and this is what we emphasize, how do you control your mind and control yourself from not giving in and letting the dopamine take over?
Okay. I mean, one thing is discipline. So, you know, I know that my discipline has to be stronger than my desires. That's my philosophy. I know that my discipline has to be stronger than my desires, because yes, I want to eat an extra piece of cake.
Yeah.
But am I gonna sit back and think that if I keep giving into this want, then I'm gonna be unhealthy? And I don't want to be unhealthy. I don't want to have high blood pressure, diabetes, a big waist. I don't want none of that. So, you know, I'm therefore thinking, okay, so I know how to put my disciplines before my desires. You know what I'm saying? In caution, always on the discipline. Like for me, I purge myself. I go on a diet from a lot of things.
Yeah.
Not only I diet food, I diet certain conversations, certain environments, certain music genres, you know, certain people. Because if I'm trying to focus on growth, then anything that's not deemed that's growing, then I diet from. You know, I'm not gonna listen to music that's talking about, you know, a whole bunch of things that I don't want to become. So I'm not gonna get programmed by letting these thoughts become my thoughts.
Yep.
You know, I'm not gonna talk to somebody who's always complaining about the problem.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because no. I'm talking to people who's about solutions. Because even when I'm talking to people like that, so if I'm talking to a solution-based person and I'm struggling with coming up with an effective solution for myself, but just talking to them and they're like, oh, you know what, man, I came up with a solution, and I'm hearing his process of how he solved the solution, how he came to the solution for his problem, just by having a natural conversation of him coming with the way of which he got to the solution. It gave me an epiphany. Oh, that's a different angle.
Yeah.
Let me take that route. But see, if I was talking to somebody who was always focused on the problem, I wouldn't have never came up with that.
Right.
You know? So that's what the dopamine is like. What, you know, I always go on a diet and being intentional. Like when I wake up, I just touch my phone for the alarm. I don't get on social media. I don't check emails. I don't
talk about the importance of that. What are the benefits to doing that?
Controlling your mind, setting your mind. So when, you know, I wake up at 5 a.m. and when I wake up, I turn my alarm off and I sit and I forecast and visualize my day. I say, you know, positive affirmations to myself. These are my goals. You know, and then I say, okay, this is what I want to work on today.
Yeah.
And so now I sit with myself and get the filter my mind to where I can know where distraction. What basically I'm setting my mind to where anything else that's coming in that's gonna tool me off, I'm able to filter it quickly. Like, oh no, this ain't for me. Boom, shut it out my head. You know, but this comes with starting intentionally with setting my mind frame up for the day going forward. So when I go in, I'm going in with a plan. I'm going in intentional, saying, you know what, today is going to be about opportunities. So no matter what happens today, it's going to happen for another opportunity. Because nothing happens to us, it happens for us.
Yep.
So if I have an opportunity myself, so I'm saying, I'm going to wake up and say, okay, today's for opportunity. So everything that happens for me is for another opportunity. So even if I had a job and I lost my job today, well, this is an opportunity for me to focus on that business I always want to start.
Yep.
Oh, you know, I had a fallout with my significant other. Not a fallout, but let's say I had a disagreement with my significant other. You know what? This is the opportunity for me to learn how to communicate a little more effectively to convey my point better.
Yeah.
You know, everything is an opportunity to grow, to build into us. And so, you know, starting off the morning, I don't want to stop off listening to music because that's somebody else's thoughts, program mine. So now I'm thinking, if I'm thinking his into a love song, I'm thinking about love and sex all day.
All day, yeah.
Like that. But it's only surprising because this is what I fed my mind. And when we wake up, our minds, you know, you're out that subconscious, your mind's grabbing information.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I just be very intentional of setting my mind before I enter in the day.
And when did you start doing that? What made you start doing that as far as what made you start being intentional about your day? I don't want to say that because that's not my question. I forgot the question I had. But anyways, we ain't even gonna stress on it. What we is gonna talk about is the fact that your diet and the way your food intake. I want to talk about that because you know a lot about nutrition, health, and as far as food. So you don't eat a lot of meat.
No,
you don't. Are you still not eating meat at all right now?
No, I'm scaling back. I'm getting back to, you know, phasing out meat, but I don't eat beef at all. You know, chicken's not really my heavy rotation. Yeah, you know, I eat a lot of fish and a lot of seafood. But then, you know, when I first wake up, before 12, I don't eat nothing but fruit. I don't eat nothing but fruit. You know, I don't want to eat anything heavy. And
explain the importance of that and why you do it and the benefits we get as humans from doing that.
Okay, well, the benefits, you know, I say the fruits have the most nutrients and things naturally, you know, that nourishes our body. So, you know what I'm saying, for brain conservation, you know what I'm saying, for great health, like fruit is easier on your body because your body is not set up to digest meats and all these heavy things early in the morning. You know what I'm saying? And really it's not good to eat late at night. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't eat after 7:30, 8 o'clock the latest I'm gonna eat. You know, because I don't want my body to be processing, trying to digest this food all throughout the night. Yeah. I'm not gonna get restful sleep. I'm not gonna get fluid thoughts. I'm not gonna get anything. So, you know, I think, Well, but just eating fruit. I mean, like I say, clear skin, clear thoughts, energy, like very energetic. Like when I eat for energy.
Yeah.
And I only eat to sustain my hunger. I don't eat to get full.
Yeah.
So I eat to sustain my hunger because that's one thing about discipline. Not giving them my desire of wanting to eat and wanting to be a glutton and wanting to put myself full because I'm no good here. So I want to eat to only satisfy my hunger. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to stay in optimal shape.
What are some facts about eating meat that not many people know about?
Carcinogenics, man. Like, just think of chicken.
Yeah.
And there's a chicken farm and there's 1,000 chickens in this one coop. One gets sick. They have to pump all the other chickens up with antibiotics so all the other chickens don't get sick. So you're eating all these antibiotics intravenously through consuming this meat.
Yeah.
So then when you get sick and you're prescribed antibiotics, they're not as effective because you've been consuming them third party through this meat. And just like, the different scenarios and just the conditions in which this meat is herded.
Yeah.
You're ingesting that. And then just think of, this is crazy, just think of if you're having a bad day as a human and things, animals have they have feelings too.
Right.
Just think if you was highly stressed and somebody ate you, they'll be consuming that energy.
They would, yeah. That's very true.
You feel me? So if this cow was probably getting butchered, you know what I'm saying? No one tell him, he's getting hit with a cow prong.
Yeah.
He's stressed now, but his cells hold that.
Yeah.
And you're consuming it. But you're consuming that. That's why you got to be very lively. And then, a lot of stuff that they put into these meats aren't really healthy. What happens if the cow had cancer? What happens if the cow had cancer? But you consumed it.
You consumed it.
You feel me? So you got to understand you are what you eat. So, some fruit. So I eat fruits in the morning. It gives me energy. It gives me fluid thoughts. I'm drinking, I'm thinking, I am what I eat.
Right.
This is a highly rich, highly energetic food.
Yeah.
So of course I'm gonna have off top. But now when I eat, you heard the itis?
No, you say that again?
The itis.
The itis?
Yeah.
The itis?
Yeah. When people say they eat good food, like, I got the itis. That's when they say, I get tired. That food gave me the itis.
Yeah.
Your body's shutting down because you're not eating good. So your body's having to shut down, conserve so much energy to filter out the bad stuff you put in your body.
And that actually is the reason why I got into trying to watch what I did eat. And as far as even if I was going to eat meat, I was going to eat less of it because I was realizing I was feeling depleted after eating. And like you said, we shouldn't be eating to fool ourselves. We should be eating to sustain our hunger. But not only that, eating should give us energy instead of deplete our energy.
There it is.
Right, so I'm eating and I got irritated about the fact that I would eat and my stomach's full and now I feel like I want to go to sleep. And I'm not supposed to feel like that.
I know.
So that's what made me start, trying to find those natural resources when it comes to energy. You
ain't never ate fruit and felt like you want to take a nap?
No, you never.
You never ate salad and felt like, it gives you energy. Like,
it gives you energy.
Like I just got done, like before this podcast, I just got done eating some watermelon.
Yeah.
I'm like,
you should not be eating no food feeling like a mess after. Honestly, if we're really being honest. And then a long time ago, I had read something that something along the lines that we aren't supposed to be consuming meat.
Man, it's crazy because I was vegan for 4 years and I'm trying to transition to get back in there.
Yeah.
It's just not so much vegan, but just not consuming so much harmful food. And being more plant-based. Because at the end of the day, we've grown to be able to consume meat, but we're not constructed. Even our teeth and our jaw says it's not set up to be eating meat. Every animal that eats meat, lions have sharp teeth.
That's very true. Yeah.
You feel me? Tigers have sharp teeth. They can rip through the thing. They don't got it. They chew. Next time you watch National Geographic, watch how lions chew. And then swallow. We gotta.
You know what I'm saying? We eat steak and we gotta.
What your mom used to tell you? Chew your food before you swallow.
Yeah. We gotta chew it over and over,
Yeah.
you know. And see, like you said, that's a prime example of us not supposed to be eating it.
Yeah.
So for somebody who's looking to switch their diet up and consume meat less, somebody who is, because a lot of people that's in their daily routine.
For sure.
So to take it out of their daily routine, how would you advise them to edge it out?
I would say just like wing yourself off it. So like when I first, the first time I tried to go vegan, I tapped out.
Yeah.
Because I didn't realize the work that it took to be intentional about understanding what I was going to eat. Because you eat anything, I can wear myself down and pull up to a drive-through and be like, hey man, let me get a number 5. You feel me? But when it's vegan, I was doing that. I was like, oh.
There's nothing
I pull up. I was like, hey man, what's your vegan option? Like, we don't got. Oh my god. So I had to tap out. So when I came back to it, I had to realize I had to be intentional. I had to be intentional and say, okay. So I got into meal prepping.
Yeah.
But then I said, you know what? Before I get to educate myself about how to be this, I start going, okay, I'm gonna eat meat. I'm not gonna eat beef. I don't eat pork. I don't eat beef. I don't eat pork. And I weighed myself off chicken. I said, I'm gonna eat fish, but I'm gonna only eat meat at one meal. So at dinner, I'm gonna eat, a fish. The first 2 are gonna be vegan or plant-based or whatever. And then I said, okay, I did that throughout the week. And I said, okay. And then I said, the week, I said, I'm going to eat fish on the weekends. Then I said, okay, I'm going to go 6 days.
Yeah.
But then I did all 7 days with just the last meal being meat. And then I started doing, okay, only on the weekdays, I'm going to go all vegan. And then the weekdays, I'm going to go one meal to the meat. Then I phased out. I just phased it out. I just gradually went into it.
Yeah, that's a perfect idea for somebody who's looking to get into it. And not even with me. I did a plant-based diet for 21 days, and the benefits I seen from that was the energy. And then you also have to be intentional about what you eat. Then I also realized how many different places don't offer vegan options for one. And then I found out that there's a lot more that do. But really, it was what wowed me was the fact that everything around us is, when we digest it, it's not supposed to be good for us. Everything around us that we do, have the options to digest is not good for us. And most of the things, and you have to go seek out those options that are good for you.
Yeah.
And that's something that made me realize, and it didn't blow my mind, but when people talk about America. And how they genuinely try to strategically keep you down, especially with the food. That's what really opened my eyes to it. I'm like, wow.
Just think of this. I don't know if you're old enough to remember, but when I was young enough, they used to say, milk does a body good, strong bones.
Yeah. They had that whole Got Milk campaign.
It used to be a campaign.
Yeah.
They said, if you want strong bones, but it came to find out that that's a myth. The more milk you drink, the more weaker your bones are. Osteoporosis. Because there is no calcium in this liquid. Yeah. It's all, you know what I'm saying? So you see our eggs, time out. First of all, milk. Your mom produced milk for you. And my mom produced milk for me. And naturally their body can produce for their offsprings. Because, we're going to grow up to be humans like our moms. Yeah. We're the only, so what is the benefit of drinking? I'm not a baby calf. Yeah. I'm not gonna grow to be a cow. So what am I drinking this milk for? But you said that's what I'm saying. You got to be wary of the information that's presented to you in anything, in anything. Not just in America, but in the world. You have to be always not questionable, but always treat everything that's presented to you. It has to pass the test. Yeah. It has to pass the test. And I'm like, okay, if it makes sense, then it should do X, Y, and Z. And if it don't hit X, Y, and Z, then it don't make sense. But if it's real, then it's going to stand the test of time. And if anybody don't want to get questioned, they lying to you. If I come up with a course that's saying, don't ask no questions, am I really teaching you, or am I trying to hustle you? Am I teaching you?
That's the perfect sign of a hustle. That's the real sign of a con or a hustle right there.
Yeah, on top. No, hey, listen, I'm about to give you this game, but don't ask me no questions. Wait, time out. Everybody got learning styles different. I might be a person that learns through questions, because you might not have covered it. And one thing, I'm an active listener, so I'm gonna sit and listen. Yeah. But I'm like, this guy's saying the same thing 4 different ways.
4 different ways, yeah.
So let me ask a question. But anything, if it can't stand the test of questioning, it's not real.
It's not real. How do you go about testing?
What testing?
When it comes down, testing somebody on their questions
I go into any field that I'm interested in. I try to amass as much information going in. So when I'm coming to courses, like I'm taking a wholesaling real estate course now, but before I got the master class, I studied what wholesaling, the definitions, the terms, and all that. So I came in with a base understanding of, okay, so when I'm hearing people talking about, oh, okay, he's talking, I know what I can follow in the conversation, and I can disseminate, okay, that's what that means. So I can follow in the conversation. But also, I'm coming in with a base knowledge that, okay, I know what I'm supposed to be learning.
Yeah.
So when it veers off from that, I'm still saying, okay, this is a place where I don't know, so I still have to say, okay. But when I'm saying, all right, too much of this, I come in with knowing something about what I want to know.
And as a teacher, I feel like you can understand, like not understand, but like you can tell when a student is going to take this serious when they come in knowing something already, doing their due diligence. Because yes, you are there to teach, but if you're there and you got somebody who said they want to be there, but they have no idea or haven't done any research, and you got to teach them everything from the ground to I'm not saying that's a waste of time, but there's a good chance it might be a waste of your time.
But are they really serious?
Yeah.
Well, just saying this, we never drove cars before, but one of us studied the driving manual. I'm gonna ask, was somebody driving, hey, what's that blinker do? What do I do? Hey, I'm gonna ask questions. I'm gonna be inquisitive about wanting to know. So when I show up to the driving test, I might not know exactly how to do it, but I have an idea of what they're talking about.
Right.
Versus the other person like, I didn't read no book or so you'll get it there, and ain't no question that person is going to crash or man, you didn't think about, so you don't know what a blinker is, even though you ain't drove. You never thought about asking somebody about driving, like what I use a blinker for, like, it's like there's no excuse. You're gonna not know what you don't know, but there's no excuse to stay in the complete dark, especially in 2024.
In 2024,
there's too much information.
At that point, it's a choice, because like what you was talking about earlier, it's hard to, like, pick your poison. It's hard to get to the next level, but then it's also hard to stay in the level you're at. Like, you literally have to sit there and say, I'm going to sit in this bed all day and not do nothing.
That's hard. That's hard as hell.
That's hard.
That's hard as hell.
Because there's plenty of times you want to sit there and get up, but you saying, I don't want to get up.
That's hard as hell, man.
I'd rather go outside and do a lot, way more than I have to, than sit in the house all day and not do nothing.
Because now that comes with that hard. So everything's hard. So getting out, traveling the road it takes to achieve your goals, it's challenging. But also sitting in the house looking to do something is also challenging. But it's two different challenges. One challenge is going to reward you.
Right.
On that road trying to get to your goals is going to be rewarding. There's a payoff. That depression and that ineptness and that confidence killer, if you sitting in the house, because you're gonna, like I said earlier, you're either gonna have a plan, or by not having a plan, you're planning on getting nowhere.
Getting nowhere.
It says you're planning.
Yeah.
Whether you know it or not, be intentional. Do you want to plan to get somewhere? Because you're gonna go somewhere. There's places that you want to get to, and there's places that you don't want to get to. So by not having a plan in life, by being young, you're going to find yourself in situations that don't serve you. And then you're going to be in places where you're going to be in situations, relationships, jobs, environments that don't serve you, and you're not comfortable and you don't want to be in. But that's by not coming with a plan. So by not coming with a plan, you plan to be in the place that you're at.
Yeah. But
now you can say, I want to get these places. I'm going to be intentional. You feel me? I'm going to come up with a plan, and I'm going to work my plan. And so therefore, okay, when you get to that place, like, okay, I like it here, but I want to get there. But see, knowing that I got here, I know what it takes to get there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna construct a plan to get there. And see, now you're in self environments and relationships, in jobs, in situations that serve you, where you're always learning. You feel me? Because remember, things don't happen to you; they happen for you.
Right.
They even help. But you got to take the choice of how it's going to be for you. It's going to be for you to build you, or it's going to be for you to break you. The choice is yours.
Name a time where you could have been broken by a certain situation, but you chose to let it build you.
Oh man, this is the death of my brother. I lost I'm the youngest of three boys. I'm the youngest of 3 boys. My oldest brother was 15 years older than me. My brother now is 9 years older than me. You know, so I'm the youngest by far.
Yeah.
You know, and so my older brother, he was like, you know, he was my big brother / father figure / best friend / mentor / drill sergeant / everything. Like, he was everything. You know, but he was a guy. He was the one person that I know I could come into life and ask a question, and I knew he was going to give me the answer to his best ability, and it was going to be for me.
Yeah.
Not with no ulterior motive. You know, and so even if he didn't have the answer, he would try to seek to figure out the answer or give me suggestions on where the answer to look for to get the answer. And so when he passed, I was 21, and I was incarcerated at the time. And so by losing him, I lost the one person that I knew had all the answers.
Yeah.
You know, that was gonna be that. And so for him, I had to, for that situation, it could have either built me or break me, and I chose for it to build me, because I chose. I chose for it to. Sorry. But I chose it to let it build me. So I had to become the person who not only had the answers, and if I didn't have the answers, I had to go seek and find and put myself on the road. So that, while it was tragedy, I turned to the triumph.
Yeah.
You feel me? I let it empower me to become, put me on the road to become this growth version, to understand, to always evolve and elevate past where I was at right now. And the situation was like, it was trying because, you know, I was incarcerated, and I still had 4 more years to go. You know, so I had to, so it set me on a thing to pour into myself, to be intentional, to understand, to learn myself, because I had to learn myself, and then I had to learn myself and say, okay, what don't I know? And so what I don't know, I need to put myself on the road to get to understanding more of it. And then what am I good at? Then let me become not only good, but let me work on it till I'm great at it. And then what am I not good at? And let me work on it to where I'm good at it. And then once it get good, let me work on it to where it's great at it. And keep going down the line to where now, back to that toolbox. Now I'm starting to know the tools in my toolbox. And that situation put me on the thing where I was able to learn the tools that were already in my toolbox and acquire more tools in my toolbox.
And when you so you was 21, and you said you had 4 more years to go after you figure out he passed away. So after those 4 years and you got out, right, after all the work you put in to accumulate the knowledge and then apply it, what was the biggest shift you seen in your reality when you were outside?
Oh my goodness. So,
and how old were you when you first got out?
Yeah, I was 25 when I first got out, and I left at 19. And so now I'm back in the world as a grown up.
Yeah.
Culture shock. Culture shock.
Okay, so and then they do say, like, when a lot of cats go to prison at that age and they get back and they grew up in prison, they say that they were, you know, lagging behind as far as you know, how the world operates.
Yeah, I mean,
but for you, I don't think that was, you know, the case. So how did you prevent that from being the case?
Okay, I stayed connected to what was going on the street. So basically, that first, I was studying fashion through TV. So while people was looking to be entertained by what they were watching, I was watching 106 in Park, like, okay, what's the trends? Oh, okay, okay, I like the way he put it together. I don't like how he did that. You know what I'm saying? Then I'm looking at this video, like, oh, I used to be like, hey, damn, what, man, this is how girls are dressing now? Like, oh my God, it's totally different. But I was being a student and being a sponge and soaking up all that information and being understood that there's a line in the Matrix that became like my mainstream, like the world as you know is no more. That's what I always had to keep in mind. Like, the world that I knew was no more. I left in 02. I got out 08. Like, everything I knew from 02 was no more. Yeah. Like, I got out, there was an iPhone. Wait, what is this? What is this? There was a sidekick. When I first got out, there was a sidekick. I was like, oh my God. I'm telling my age. But what I'm just saying is, like, you have to understand, like, I went in, it was like the Flintstones, and I got out, it was like the Jetsons. Yeah. Like, it was like, but also, I embraced it because I became a sponge, and I allowed the TV to be my navigation to what was going on there, because they wasn't locked up on the TV. I was locked up. So I knew everybody talking like, oh, ain't none of y'all been out. Y'all was in here with me yesterday. How y'all know what's going on in the street? You don't know what's going on. And I would, like when skinny jeans first came out, and I was like, hey man, man, these guys wearing skinny jeans because I'm from the Bay Area. Now I got out, and then what happened? I got with the size.
You got with the times.
So I just learned to always be with what's changing and always be in the moment. And not be so stuck in the past. Because anything that doesn't grow becomes obsolete. Anything that grows becomes obsolete, and when you become obsolete, then you perish.
Man, that was it's crazy you brought up fashion, because that was gonna lead me to my last question of the whole thing. So leading to the last question of the whole thing, my question for you, Pops. Breaking news, this is Pops, man. RBM Rich Reallionaire, this is Pops, man.
I'll tell.
You always been the fly guy, man, but there's an art to it. What kind of, what's the art to it?
Okay, what's the art? I think, being fashionable and being stylish is two different things.
And what's the difference?
Okay, so being fashionable is just, what's popping? Balenciaga's popping. I'm gonna just put on the Balenciaga, and then now I'm dressed. Or I got the purple jeans with the tag hanging, and now I'm dressed. But that don't take that is being fashionable. You didn't do no thinking with that. But being stylish is no matter what I put on, no matter what brand it is, I wear it like me. You feel me? I got a style. Like I'm styled like, okay, all right, my socks is gonna bring out my belt. You know what I'm saying? My belt's gonna bring out the logo in my thing.
This guy didn't say the socks is gonna bring out the belt.
Okay.
All right, bro. Ain't no. But that's a prime example of why the result ends up like this, is because nobody else is thinking like that. I ain't never heard nobody say the socks is gonna match the belt.
I'll tell you.
Like,
and then like I got green in my hat. You feel me? But there's green stitching on the back of my jacket. There's a green tag on my thing. So it's the same. It's the little bit of ambiance. The little bit of boom. So it's just that is because like getting dressed is like your style is telling your story. So when you see me dressed and you see how I put it together, you see, oh man, this guy thought about what he's wearing. But it tells you about me because I think about what I'm doing. So when I speak, I think about what I'm saying. Before I walk into this room, I thought about walking into this room. You know what I mean? So like, but when I like being stylish is telling your story. And I'm letting you know how I am through my style. I'm a guy meticulous. I like to match. I like to look good. I like to present, but I like to think good. I like to read good. I like to eat good. I like to do everything good. So I know, but it just tells about my style and fashion. Style, like your style is like your story. You can tell if somebody don't care. You can tell about the way they dress and don't care. He woke up, he don't get him. He ain't brushed his hair. He ain't got no lineup. You know what I'm saying? He don't match. His plants is wrinkled. He don't.
And it do tell your story, because those type of people who do not care about those type of things and presenting themselves often tend to operate a certain way, which is carelessly and not strategically.
And then I was blessed though. Both my parents are designers. I can't. I have to give credit to the OGs. My father's a master tailor, and my mom's a seamstress.
Oh, so, that yes. I didn't even know. What? He was a master tailor?
Yeah, man. You see every suit he wore. He made those suits. He's every suit that you see. Papa Glenn ain't gonna come out and not put together. But,
that's very true. I didn't know he was tailoring his own stuff though. That's what makes it even.
Most definitely.
Oh, okay, but he also did that when he was in Vegas. He had that suit. It was not a suit company, but wasn't he tailoring?
He was
tailoring.
Yes,
and that was his business.
Yeah, he had a business. I mean, my father had a business on the Strip, man. Like he did clothes for Toni Braxton when she had a residency there. Eddie Gerald Levert, rest in peace. My dad, his claim to his biggest, I'm talking about biggest thing. Now my dad is a diehard Michael Jackson fan. I became a Michael Jackson fan, but my dad is
diehard.
My dad, he's a bad man.
Might really just died for Michael.
I know, listen. So my dad actually made designed clothes for Michael Jackson.
That's what's up. Yeah.
And so so my dad was really, he's really gifted when it comes to that tailoring. And then so is my mom though. My mom is, my mom's very You know, you come on.
No, I remember Grandma Bette. She know how to do anything with the soap.
No.
Anything, she know how to put anything together.
No, for sure.
You know, from blankets to hoodies to
you feel me? And so, you know, I got it by nature. You know what I'm saying?
You know how to sew a little bit?
No, I don't know how to sew, but I understand what a good garment is. You know what I'm saying? I understand, you know, what a quality garment is put together.
And that's very true. And that leads into the last minute thing, man, because, you know, you guys are very intentional when it comes down to RBM and the brand, the clothes, right? When it comes down to apparel, you guys are very intentional. So, last thing, you know, go ahead and promote what you guys got coming out next, and then also I want them to see what you got on right now.
Okay, all right. So, we got a fire drop. We're going, man. We got some flare sweatsuits coming. You know what I'm saying? But we got a major drop for the fall, man. I don't even want to, you know, I don't even want to.
Not too much.
I don't want to link you here, but man, I promise you, man, gonna set it when we set the city on fire, man. It's really gonna set us in a different level of fashion, because now we're going from branding, which is now we're doing now with our branding. You know what I'm saying? This is a blank, and then we put our brand on it. But now we're getting into designing, cutting, sewing.
Right.
Our style. Like when you get RBM merch going on forward, it's gonna fit you how RBM smalls fit you, not how the designer we got it from, they chose to fit their smalls.
Yep.
You know, it's just really actually constructing the garment from start to finish, from sketching everything. So I you know, yeah, that's where we're going. And then what I got on now, man, our mechanic jacket.
Yeah, you gotta get up and show them, man. You gotta get up and show them, man.
You know, our mechanic jacket.
Turn around and everything, man. Look at that, man.
You know what I mean? You know, I got our drip tee, our drip tee hoodie on. You know, boom, the RBM drip with the signature.
Yeah.
RBM patch on the hood.
And see, that's what
that's
what makes all the difference. The quality, man.
Yeah, I got the trucker. You know, our new truckers all hustle, no handouts. You know, RBM. You know, it's
the quality. Yeah, the stitching look A1.
Oh yeah.
First, there's a lot of clothing brands out nowadays, and that's a good thing. I feel like everybody should try to create something for themselves, and like you said, express themselves through what they represent. Yeah. And 2 principles for somebody who's looking to start their clothing brand and get that going out.
Okay. Identify what you stand for in your thing. Like, I believe in, if you wouldn't wear it for yourself, don't sell. Like, I don't construct and won't sell anything that I don't wear for myself. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I understand, like, put your all into it. Like, really, really, like, design it. Like, be intentional and don't rush. Like, you know, don't procrastinate, drag your feet, but also be diligent about being creative and understand telling your story through your designs. Yeah. You know what I mean? And understand what do you want to speak towards. Remember, people dress to tell their story. So, you know what I'm saying? So, rich bag, I want you to feel like a rich bag member. You know, a rich bag when you wear this garment. You know what I mean? Good quality, dense. It's going to withstand multiple washes, cleaner washes, everything. But you're going to see you're going to see the designs that I said and thought about, these designs that we constructed. Yeah. So, with your brand, know that. Identify what you want your brand to stand for and design in that field and design in that energy where, you know what I'm saying, be intentional and understand quality over quantity. You know what I'm saying? Don't sell anybody something that is gonna wash one time and not gonna wear, because they're not gonna be a returning customer. Yeah. You know, if I buy a hoodie and I wash it one time and it shrink, then I'm not gonna come buy another one of your hoodie. But if I get you a hoodie and it stands the test of time, I'm like, oh, look, it look good, it feel good. Oh man, I'm coming back.
Yep. Well, you know, that's the end of the Certified GoGetter podcast with RBM Rich Reallionaire here, man. Hope you guys are able to pick up on some gems. Where can they find you out on the platforms?
Man, they can find me on Instagram, RBM_Rich Reallionaire. You could, our website is richbagmember.com. And that's where. And then our Instagram is Rich Bag Members on Instagram. So those are 3 places you can find me. And man, hey, I appreciate you for having me.
Hey, man. I appreciate you too, my man.
And come on, my man.
You already know, man.
All right, man. You're one of my major trophies in life, man.
I appreciate that, Pops.
One of my major trophies in life, man. I'm so proud, man. Salute with both hands what you're doing, man. I'm proud of you. This is dope. This is great, man. I feel blessed and honored to be.
And you know, that goes back to say, I think right now, me in my 20s, and like you said about, you know, something you was working towards was being a resource for the family. You know, it feels great to like somebody, like we was talking about finding yourself earlier. It feels great to have found what I like to do and found how I can offer value to the world and build a platform. And building a platform creates opportunities not just for myself, but a whole bunch of other people. Okay. So one of the things I'm working towards is being a resource for my family. And you know, it's great to, even though you are Pops and we are doing this podcast, and you know, I'm getting used to it, I'm practicing and all that, but it's great to still have a platform. Definitely. And still have you able to bring what you doing here for other people to see. You know, so and that's just, it just starts here, but then, you know, I want to inspire other family members, cousins, aunties, everybody, you know, to build something of their own so they can end up being on this platform.
Awesome, most definitely. That's great, man. You're doing a great job, man.
I appreciate it.
You're doing a great job.
Well, you know, follow me on Instagram, official GoGetter_. You know, subscribe to my YouTube at official GoGetter. And, you know, more content on the way, man. I appreciate y'all tuning in.